Now, real people, real opinions. Nighttime talk with Niall Boylan.
Ireland's classic hits radio.
Welcome back to Nighttime Talk with Gary Brennan in for Niall Boylan all week. Had a great show so far. Those who are listening, we've been getting loads of text messages in, especially when it came to the religion question. Are we losing our religion? A lot of views on that. We might touch on that again in the future. And before that, we were talking about Remembrance Day as well. So don't forget, all of our conversations are available on our podcasts on the website of Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. Now, on to the next bit. You're going to love this one. It's a juicy letter. We love getting in dilemma letters from our listeners, and you're all very, very good for sending them in. But this one caught our attention, and you will absolutely know why in just a second. Affair with friend's mum. I tell you, that catches the eye, doesn't it? I hope you can help me out. I've been working at my best mate's mum's pub for years on and off. I have my own window cleaning business, but I help out at the pub a few nights a week. It means that I'm working late with his mum quite a bit. We've had the odd lock-in with customers and drink and play pool, but we've started having lock-ins just the two of us, and we've become really close. I've started to have strong feelings for her, and we ended up sleeping together. That's incredible. I've avoided going back to work there in over 3 weeks, but I can't stop thinking about her. I am in love with her. We've been texting and she says she feels the same way. This is his best friend's mother. We want to be together, but we don't want to hurt my best mate. But more importantly, the fact it's her son, it could ruin their relationship. Can you please read this out? What do your listeners think? Okay, now that really is a predicament. I've read a few of these in my time, but that one's a tricky one. Can you please get in touch and let us know what you think? What's the best thing he can do in this situation? He's in love with his friend's mum and she feels the same. But if they pursue it, it could have serious implications. The obvious one being devastating the son and best friend at the same time. WhatsApp us on 087 188 0008 and see if we can help this chap. So I've got Sean on the line. Sean, you think this is heavy, do you? I do too.
It's heavy is not the word, Gary, you know. Well, I'll approach it this way, Gary. If this is all, well, here, I'm not to listen to what you're reading out there. It's probably here. We're on nationwide now, so he probably has an inkling after, if anybody's listening to this show, who he is.
Jeez, you know, if your mother owns a pub.
He gave too much away there straight away.
If your mother owns a pub, you're
and a window cleaning business. Jesus. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah, maybe
somebody's getting a knock tonight, but the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is, Gary, you know, like he's supposed to be his best mate, you know, and what is he doing, you know? So basically what's going to happen here, and we all know this is, his best mate is going to end up, you know, probably bursting him, and he's probably never going to talk to his mother ever again, you know? So that's my analogy on the whole lot, you know.
Do you think the son, if he found out, would
because there's no winners out of this.
Sean, do you think the son, if he found out, would never talk to the mother again, or would he just cut your man out of his... It's something to never talk to your mother again, isn't it?
Oh, well, sure, I'd be doing the same, you know. He's supposed to be our best mate. He's supposed to have your back, Gary, you know. So yeah, you know, I'd be doing a lot worse, Gary, to be honest with you, but I was in that position, you know. But you know, it's just very heavy, Gary, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what does he think he's doing? Stifler's mom here, you know. It's the night I heard it, I was like, this from, you know, yeah. You know, I thought of the film trailer, I was like, oh my God. You know, here we go.
But
yeah, it's just...
There may be trouble ahead.
Absolutely, and you know it's gonna get heavy. Of course it is. You know,
it sort of can only end one
Gary,
way.
It's just, you know, again
it can sort of only end one way, Sean.
Well, it's gonna end in tears for everybody.
Yeah, it's a really dangerous one. Stay with me, Sean, because I'm going to go to Jessica now. Jessica, you think this is wrong on so many levels. Give me some female input on this one.
Yeah, no, I just think it's weird. Like, what's going to happen? Is he going to be coming around to Sunday dinner now, and the son's just meant to be like, all right, why is Donnie with me, ma? Like, no, I just think it'd be weird and it'd be too awkward for everyone. Like, why would he put his mate into that kind of situation? Like, I just think it was a no-go from the get-go, and he just decided, nah, fuck it.
Do you think he should have known better from the start?
I think he's being selfish.
Do you think he should have known better from the start, Jessica?
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah, 100%. Your friends, parents, siblings, and anyone to do with their family is pretty much a no-go. In most people's heads anyway, because like I said, it just makes things awkward and a bit ooey, to be honest.
Do you think, as they say, the bro code, do you think that's been broken, smashed into smithereens?
Oh yeah, I'm with Sean on that one. I can't see him just being like, oh yeah, this is grand. I can see the best mate saying, no, expect a lot of this. I
Sean,
can't see him just giving them the two fingers, because I would.
I hear you, Jessica. Sean, what would you say about that, the bro code? I mean, we all know about that. Like, you don't kiss your friend's sister or your friend's cousin.
You don't
or
cross
whatever,
the
but
line,
certainly
Gary.
not the mother.
No. Gary, it's funny, and you know, it was a few years ago, Gary, and a friend of mine was into my sister, you know, and they were the same age, like, you know, and you know, well, a year or two between, and he asked me, he says, "Would you?" I said, "I'll punch your head in." I said, "Don't even dream about it, you know. I said, don't even think about it." I said, you know, and he just said, "Right, okay," because I knew I would have, because. You just don't cross that line, Gary. It's just a line you don't cross, you know. It is where it is. It's just, you know, yeah. Imagine your ma. So here, the bad enough thing your sister, Gary. Your ma.
I know. You make an interesting point, but if you don't mind me asking, because, I mean, look, I think every guy can, you know, they understand this. Anyone with a sister understands. But why is it so bad if your friend fancies your sister? Why is that so bad? What is it that makes it an absolute no?
Because it's me sister, you know, and he's me mate, you know, it's no. Because I know why he's being like with girls as well, and you know, just it's a no. It's a definite no. It's 100,000,000% no. And I said it to him, I said, "Go where you?" I said, "You grew up on your own, you know, no, it's just no." You know, and I know what he was like for women. He'd be out with every woman every weekend. Not a hope, no.
It's
So,
hard
you
enough.
know, your friends are your friends. Keep your friends your friends, and yeah.
It's hard enough for a new lad to get accepted into a family, never mind a lad that's already been around the family and you all know everything about him and the baggage he brings. But I was just thinking here, Sean. You know what I mean? But I was just thinking here, Sean, this woman, his best mate's mum, right? And him, there must be a massive age difference.
There has to be. There's no doubt about it. You know, like, I know my friends' mates' mums, and there is a massive age difference between me and them. Like, there's a good 25, 30 years in some, you know, mothers' ages with me. And no, it wouldn't happen, you know. And I'd have them, you know, even at that, back then, I fancied my friends' sisters. I did. They're gorgeous looking, and I never even dreamt about it, you know, because I'd never even say it, you know, because it just wasn't. It was never. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. You know, it's a bit of respect, Gary. It's a bit of every. And here, what's I say to you? Whatever about the sister crossing that line with the mother. My God Almighty.
Stay there, Sean. I'm going to go to you, James. You think that you can't help who you fall in love with?
Yeah, Gary, I think it's absolutely true. And mother, sister, whatever, love is love at the end of the day. And like Sean was saying there, like, I'm going out with a mate's sister now for 3 years.
Oh,
Ruth. Like, we've been going out 3 years.
And you survived it?
I've been best mates. Absolutely, yeah. I've been best mates with our brother Alex there for God knows how long, 10 years. We went through school together, and he had no problem with it at all. Like, at the end of the day, you do have to understand there's only one life, and when you truly love somebody, you have to go for it, don't you?
And did you go when you decided to pursue the girl you're talking about? Did you go to the brother first and ask permission, or did it just happen without him knowing about it?
No, not at first now, but that is something I would probably recommend. We seen each other for a couple of months, and then I went to the brother, but he had no problem with it. Like, he was understanding, and you know, it'd be the same for him if you're in a good group of lads and you know they're good lads. You know, I'd let a lot of my best mates go out with my sister at the end of the day. That's what it is. Like, love is love. And to have one of the mates in the family, I don't think that should be a problem.
You say a lot of your best mates, but not all of them. Is there a couple that you wouldn't let anywhere near your sister?
Yeah, to be fair, that would be true now, Gary. There's a few people out, but sure, look, there's always a few oddballs in life, isn't there?
But this, okay, James, I hear you. No, that's a fair point. You can't help who you fall in love with. And there is lots of people that, end up going out with their mates' sisters and their mates' cousins and things like that. But I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've heard of a guy sleeping with his best friend's mother. That's a different level, isn't it?
Well, like, at the end of the day, the mother's after making the advance there, Gary. Like, what is he meant to do in that situation if he's attracted to her? What can he do but help himself? I understand this bro code thing and all, but like, if there's anybody to blame in this situation, it's the mother, 100%.
The mother, she should have known better. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. I mean,
His best friend should know better as well, James.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd say so, but I mean, how can you give it up at such a young age? I mean, a woman found that interest, it's the mother's fault, 100%, not a doubt in my mind.
And what do you think?
No, I'm not with you on this one, James. No.
Well, hold on there, Sean. I want to ask James.
Like he had just.
Hold on, Sean. James, what do you think will happen if he ever finds out that his mother has been sleeping with his best friend? What do you think he's going to think?
Well, initially, I probably wouldn't think it'll go well, but sure, look, if they're a good match at the end of the day and he trusts his mate, maybe it'll come to fruition that it's not such a bad thing. Like, I don't think he'd be completely out of his mind to say that's all right at the end of the day.
And what if they got on really, really well, got a great relationship going, and ended up getting married, and his best mate becomes a stepdad?
But those are the mad things of life. Things like that happen all the time. Life is crazy, and sometimes you just have to embrace it. So, it could be an odd situation. It's against the odds, but who's stopping them? Why stop them?
So free love, it is what it is. You can't help who you fall in love with, and he's just going to have to accept it.
Absolutely. I think so. One love, one life. Why not?
Sean, do you think that there's an element of forbidden fruit here? That he mightn't actually be into her all that much, but he gets a little bit of a, I suppose, a bit of a kink off it?
100%, Gary. There's always that case, James is very, he's very relaxed on this one. And look, whatever that worked out for him, it wouldn't have worked out that way if he had to be my best friend. Because he wouldn't be going out with my sister, I can guarantee him that. And I did give you a story already that I knew this guy, the way this guy was carrying on with women. He'd have one nearly every time we went out. And he was just one of them guys, and, it wasn't never going to happen. So, James' analogy on this is a totally different analogy that I have, and it would never happen. I just have to let it be. It wouldn't be happening, James. You said there one life and one love. You wouldn't have a life left if you were, if you were in the case with my sister. It wouldn't be happening. Because it just wouldn't happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. It just wouldn't happen. And and with the mother, Jesus. James, I'll have what you're smoking there, James. That's what I'll do. Because I don't. Yeah.
James, go ahead there.
Sorry, James.
I just think it's completely, you're just blocking it out of your mind completely, not letting it happen. I think you just have to be open to these things, and I think it just shows a closed mindset.
It won't be happening, James. It never happened, James.
No, with my friends, the people I have close to me, if you're around the right bunch, which you should be, which is your own choice, there shouldn't be a problem there in my mind.
Well, if you want, James, and no offence to you, James, but if you don't have a problem with your friends going out with your sisters or your friends going out with your mother, that's up to you, James. Don't let me stop you, but that wouldn't be happening on my watch, James. That's all I'm going to say to you, James.
I'm going to ask both of you this. I'll go to you, Sean, first. What do you think should happen next for him? What should he do? Should he tell his friend? Should he break it off with the mother and keep it a secret? Or should they go public with the relationship? What do you think should happen? Because I know what you feel about, the kind of ins and outs of the bro code and etc. But this is a real problem for this guy. What do you think he should do?
Oh, absolutely. This is a huge problem. And it was, if I knew this guy personally, and my personal advice would be, stop what you're doing, say nothing, and that never happened, and let's all walk away and forget about it. As if this is found out, this guy is going to lose his mother, and this guy that's doing it, which is supposed to be his best friend, is going to end up probably 6 feet under. So, yeah.
So you think there's too much of
this is heavy, as I say.
There's too much of a downside to keep it going and just end it and move on and say nothing.
Huge downside, huge fallout, Gary. This is a nuclear fallout. He's going to lose a mother. He's going to lose a best friend. He's going to lose everything here. This is crazy. And his best friend should have known better. I don't believe what James said there earlier on. Oh, sure, look, it is where it is. It's not, it is where it is, and this should not be overlooked. We're supposed to be best friends for a reason, that we trust each other and not to act the idiot behind each other's backs. And this is exactly the carry on that James is actually, applauding to. How are you a best friend if you're doing that? I would never, ever dream about it. I'd never, as I said to you already, Gary, I fancied my friends' sisters growing up, and they were lovely girls, and they still are. There's no doubt about it. But I never went that. I'd never done it, because I had more respect for them, But and that's me. I'm just old school, Gary, and that's all I always will be,
I hear you. And James, what do you think he should do? Because it's a very real situation. What should he actually do?
Well, I think keeping it under wraps is probably the worst advice you give somebody. Things like this, you need them aired out in the open. I mean, the fallout from it, if there is any, if you're keeping it under wraps, it's going to be even worse. And I just think it's crazy that Sean is threatening death to somebody 6 feet under if they're going to go near his sister. Like, that is just absolutely mental in this day and age, to have carry on like that, threatening people with their relationships and who they want to see and who they want to live their life with.
So you think he should just own up?
100%, and I think he should own it. Him and the mother should own it 100%. Be at the forefront, be honest about things. That's the only way it would get resolved, if the son is going to take it, which I think he should, but they need to come out in the open with it. Absolutely.
He's not going to be happy, James. The son. He's just not going to be happy.
No, he probably won't be at first. I'd agree he wouldn't be happy at first, but I mean, he's going to have to adapt and see if it's a proper relationship, long-lasting relationship, not something that's going on for 3 weeks or whatever the original text said. I mean, if this is a long-term thing, he's just going to have to come to accept it in his life. He's just going to have to learn to take it on the chin, still be mates with your best friend. If it's his best friend for life, then that's what it is. And controlling other people's relationships isn't something that comes with that.
All right, James, thanks for that. Deirdre, I have you on the line. Deirdre, you're welcome to Nighttime Talk. You think that he's not a good friend?
Good night, Gary.
How are you?
Definitely not. I mean, in all fairness, how embarrassing is it for the boy?
For the son? For the son?
Oh, for the son, of course. Like, first of all, there's... It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't even think what my son would do or say if I ended up with his friend. How old are they?
That I can't tell you, Deirdre. I don't have their ages, but I'm assuming he works in the pub, so he's young enough, I'd say. He's probably in his 20s, and I assume the mother then could be anything 40 plus.
Yeah.
Do you think the mother should have known better?
Mammy needs to go and wake up a little bit, to be fair, and grow up. All day long. No respect for herself or her son, to be fair. I'm all for everybody being happy, but there's a line.
So do you think the
imagine
onus...
the slagging he'll get from all his friends.
Do you think the onus falls on the mother, more than the friend?
Yeah, she should have more sense. Like, they say you can't help who you fall in love with. You can. You can stop it.
That's a fair point, Deirdre.
I would think it should have been stopped before it got this far.
And we're getting a lot of texts in.
Realistically,
we're getting a lot of texts or WhatsApps in. Get in touch on 087 and overwhelmingly everybody is saying that the mother should have cut it off, nipped it in the bud.
Without a doubt. And you could understand if my friend came to me and said, my son is having a fit because I'm having an affair with his friend. And I'd say, well, what else would you expect? And I'd be her friend. Do you understand?
Yeah, I hear you. And Margaret, or Deirdre, sorry.
Yeah.
Deirdre.
Yeah. No, should have been nipped.
And Deirdre, what should he do, though? Because he wrote into us looking for advice. He wants to know what he should do next. They've slept together. He's got strong feelings
This
for
is the guy that's having the affair.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do next, and he wants
Yeah.
advice. So
Yeah.
what would you tell him if he was
He
sitting
needs
in
to
front of you?
remove himself. I tell him to remove himself from the situation. If he calls himself a friend does not cross the line. End of story. I don't even think I could forgive my friend if she slept with my father once, let alone told me she was in love with him and they had feelings for each other. Yeah?
I hear you. It's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? To hear something like that.
I think I heard somebody saying there. Yeah, somebody said there previous that leave them get on with their life and don't leave anybody dictate. That's not fair. That's not fair when it's your mother, especially a boy. You know, you're a boy yourself, Gary, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like your mother to be on with your best friend?
Absolutely not. Deirdre.
Can you imagine what everybody else will be saying around your company and that?
Oh,
yeah.
not at all. The neighbours will be
Unnecessary grief for her son, I think.
absolutely heartbroken. I do agree with you on that. Deirdre, stay with me. I'm going to go to Derry-Ann. Now, Derry-Ann, you've got a very interesting outlook on this because tell us your story.
Well, I'm separated, divorced a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
And I'll just say I have 2 kids. And I end up going to all the births, christenings, you name it. And I'm always the one on my own. And the other person on their own is my daughter's partner's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And I know that 2 of us get on great. There is something there between us, but I'd be afraid of my life to even go there because I think I'd be dead if the daughter. I just don't think they could handle it. And yet, at the same time, her kids have all these. It has about 6 grandparents, shall we say, because the dad's or the partner's mother got married again, so there's that grandfather, and then there's me and this other dad. And I think it's the fact that we're on our own, and when we meet up at these occasions, we kind of link. Because I remember they were taking pictures in the church at something or other last year, and I went over and I said, "No, I'm not going to be on my own in a picture. Come on." And the 2 of us would get in together. So this kind of started off. But I think I'd be afraid of my life to cross the line.
So what you're saying, Derry-Ann, is 2 things. One, if he's listening tonight, he knows that you have a bit of an eye for him. But the second thing you're saying is that there's a line there. And there's a line in all sorts of relationships.
That. I think he knows.
He knows anyway. But what you're saying to me, Derry-Ann,
Sorry,
is that,
say that again.
What you're saying is that there's lines in relationships, be it this chap here with his friend's mother or in your situation, and they're invisible lines, but they're obvious. You know, if you've got a brain in your head, you're like, that's not going to work out. If you look 5 minutes down the road, you say to yourself, I don't want to go down that road.
No, whatever about my situation. I mean, at my age, I just think it's funny and it's kind of flattering in a lovely way. But with a young lad like that, I think it's very sad because I remember when, you know, my son was young and had friends, and you can see why they would turn around and fancy some of the mothers. You actually can see it, but it's not fair. The mother should not have, you know, given in to that young lad. And it's him that wrote in, obviously, because sure, he's all over the shop, and I don't think it's fair to him at all because it's not love, it's lust, and we all know that. And whatever about my age, you know, it's a different story. But that would just destroy not just his friendship, but destroy his friend. you know, and the mother should have a lot more cop on than she seems to be having. And I'm no saint, by the way, so I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of that, Deirdre? What Derry Ann just said? She agrees
Jerry,
with you.
can I just say something?
Yeah.
I think Derry Ann should go for it. Derry Ann, why would you be on your own? He's your age. It's Nanny and a Granda getting together. It's nice.
Yeah.
You know, I would 1,000,000%, yeah. You know, you don't have to go hammer and tongs and go running down the aisle, but it would be nice because then your daughter or son wouldn't have to worry about you, and likewise with the other sibling, you know, his son or daughter, whichever way it is.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I tell you, Derry Ann, we're
I
getting
think
Derry
you should
Ann.
go for it, Gary.
Derry-
Nice and short.
Derry Ann, we're getting an awful lot of WhatsApps in saying that you should definitely go for it, is what Deirdre's saying. They all agree.
There you go now.
Well, thank you for that. Maybe. And I actually ran into him by mistake the other day. Well, we won't say by mistake, but I could see it was still there. And it was quite funny because it's not what's been said, it's what's not been said, you know. And when you get to my age and you are on your own, I'm not going to say it's hard. I enjoy my own company, but you get lonely. Like, I mean, some days I go out and I have to thank the young people that work in shops that turn around and will talk to me for a couple of minutes, because they might be the only person in the day that I actually talk to.
Well, there you have it, Derry Ann.
They make my day because they...
Yeah, no, because look, that's
You
what...
mean go for it?
Aren't we all looking for that? Just a little bit of comfort and a little bit of attention. And I'm telling you, overwhelmingly, all our listeners think you should look into it. But I'm going to have to leave it there. And wish you the best of luck with that, Derry Ann. There you are. Deirdre sorted out your
But
life.
before I go, Jerry, can I say something, Jerry?
Of course you can. Yeah, go ahead.
Jerry, can I say something before I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Your topic tonight with the guy from the UK on the puppies, I really enjoyed it. Brilliant stuff.
Thank you. That's what we're here for. Is to give you...
No, it was brilliant. Yeah, and very thought-provoking, and thanks for doing that.
Oh, you're very welcome, Derry Ann. I enjoyed every second of it, actually. It was an interesting topic. That's what we try and do here every night here on Nighttime Talk.
Really, really.
And I'll say, we wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for the likes of yourself, Derry Ann, and yourself, Deirdre. So thanks both of you for calling in to me. But I'm going to have to leave that topic there. That chap's got a big, big problem. And he's going to have to sort it out. I don't know what he's going to do, but I do hope if he's listening in tonight, he got a bit of advice of everybody. And I also hope if you're listening in tonight, send us in a follow-up letter, because we're going to follow that one very, very closely.
Now, real people, real opinions. Nighttime Talk with Niall Boylan.
Ireland's classic hits radio.